if you are here, you've probably already seen a lot of my previous social posts about how Ruuster doubled our business in 2025. It was a great year for us, but it wasn't a year that happened on accident, right? We actually invested into marketing coaching with Alec Cheplak, and we completely humbled ourselves and did exactly what he said. Threw out any preconceived notion and just wrote down what he said to do and did those things. And as it turned out, they worked. So I actually was invited to speak at his Marketing Mastermind event that's happening this weekend in Las Vegas, and kind of give a rundown or a recap of what we did in order to double our business in 2025. And what I'm going to do today is actually share with you, kind of give you a preview of my presentation. So I'm really excited to share this information with you. We're going to go through 4 sections, and that's going to cover the mindset of marketing, the audience building, message and media, and funnels. So that is on the agenda for today. So let's dive in. First things first, the mindset of marketing is not something to be overlooked, truthfully. I've always held the belief that real estate is a professional sales organization. I am in sales myself. However, focusing on sales exclusively puts the cart before the horse. So this mindset of marketing directly reflected a shift for me. So, and it actually, quite frankly, came at a good time, right? As a salesperson with no type of online lead generation that we were doing, I didn't, in my old jobs, I would get to my computer in the morning and have 4 to 5 leads who had inquired the night before. That's not the case, right, with Ruuster. So having the salesperson mindset with no one to sell to is a little bit pointless. So I had to become a marketer so that I actually had somebody to sell to. And it's really important to understand that marketing isn't selling. That was not something that was obvious to me. I wanted my marketing to be my sales pitch, and that's not really how it works. So marketing drives sales opportunities. Selling is asking questions, discovering pain points, solving gaps for clients' businesses, a bit of a dialogue, right? Kind of a one-to-one experience. Marketing really is done best in a one-to-many, and you're not actually able to have that dialogue. You can't go through those discoveries, so you have to market out to the community the solutions that you're ultimately selling. And marketing is earning the right to sell. That's something that's really important to understand, is getting somebody into your funnel, marketing valuable content to them, and then having them consequently raise their hand and say, I'm ready for that dialogue, is marketing that helps you earn the right to sell. So for us, this was done through education, social proof, and longevity. Education is helping people understand the problem, right? What is the problem? What are we solving directly? Why does it even matter? Is there an ROI on the other end of the problem? The truth is, you and I have plenty of problems. There's no shortage of problems. Every day brings a new one, but not all of them have an equal opportunity, or the solution to those problems don't have equal opportunities on the other side, right? We've all seen dozens of tech companies come and go in this industry, and they solve a problem, but solving that problem doesn't actually generate a return on investment. So why does it matter is a really important concept, and you want to tie that directly to generating an ROI. Does this problem impact me? Next question. Truthfully, one of the kind of eye-opening experiences we had in 2025 is Ruuster isn't for everybody, and that's okay. As a salesperson, I was kind of running around with my head cut off like a chicken. Ruuster, chicken, that was unintended. But I wanted to sell. That's what I do. And the truth is, our product isn't for everybody, and that is okay. So marketing, the concept of does this impact me, is really valuable because it does help self-select people where our product is valuable, and it helps people where our product is not valuable kind of do all of us a favor and not try to fit a round peg in a square hole. If the problem impacts the client, they'll speak up. If it doesn't, you don't have to try to sell to somebody who isn't the right fit. And how do I know? How do I even identify any of this? Okay, so you've identified the problem, you've identified does it matter, does it impact me, yes or no? How do I know, right? How do I identify that the solution you're selling impacts the problem that I'm having? And how do I know that? So education is a big piece of marketing. Social proof. This is really important. People, it's classic, people want to be associated with the person that is well liked. People want to mirror the folks who are successful. Are other people I know, like and respect, impacted by this problem? Has the solution that Ruuster's selling resolved this problem for them? Are the people who are in my similar situation impacted by this? Right? We've got people that we know, like, and respect, but their business is just different than mine. So maybe their problems aren't my problems. Are people who have similar businesses to me impacted by this? And is Ruuster fixing it? Right? So social proof there. Does the solution actually fix the problem? Right? And then can they prove it? I'm going to tell you we fixed the problem, but can I prove it? And social proof is a big part of that. And in real estate, this is all equally applicable. The truth is, every agent on every team and every other brokerage, they've got problems. They've got things they're unhappy with about their brokerage. And if you're marketing to recruit people to your organization, all of these concepts work for you. In fact, I already know they work for you because Alec really started his business working with real estate agents. We were one of the first, if not the first tech company to raise our hand and say, hey, we'd like to try this, see if we can reverse engineer this into tech, and it's working. And then longevity. I mentioned longevity before. Is all of the above true? And can I trust they'll exist in the future? If you've been around, you have seen plenty of tech companies come and go. Some actually experienced success. They actually did solve a problem for a short period of time, but then for whatever reason, they're no longer here. So can I trust they'll be in the future? And you can't fake this. You can't fabricate this. You have to be consistent. You have to be doing this on a daily basis because you can't backdate all of your social media marketing. Right? I can't post today and say this happened in January 14th of 2025. Right? I need folks to come to my Facebook profile and scroll basically endlessly and see that I've been doing this long enough, see that I've actually been having success for a long enough time, that they can trust that I'm not going anywhere. So that is the mindset of marketing. That's really, really important. If I came out with the Ruuster value props of our flagship features AI Nurture, this is how it works. Here are the details, how it integrates into your CRM, blah, blah, blah. These really nuanced details, they're important, but they're not important in the marketing process. They're important when you get to have that sales conversation. But the how the product does its thing is a little less important in the beginning until you earn the right to have that sales call. And again, sales call for me, recruiting call for you, it's the same thing. Don't overcomplicate that. Number 2, audience. Build. Marketing done correctly, but to no one or to the wrong people doesn't work, right? So I could do all of the things that I previously said, but if my audience was the wrong group of people, marketing's worthless. So you need to build an audience. First thing to do, easy. Everyone can do this. There's truly no excuse. 20 friend requests a day. That is a money-making activity. You've probably heard Alec say it. I know the folks who will be at the event this weekend will hear him say it multiple times, I'm sure, but 20 friend requests a day on Facebook. For us, right? For Facebook is where the majority of our clients live. It's where they spend time. But for you, It could be another social media platform, but you need to make connections. 20 connections a day. This is something that's actually on my calendar every morning, 20 friend requests a day. So I've got time dedicated to going through and friend requesting people. In-person events at the right events is another great way to build an audience, right? Going to places where people that you want to do business with or that you want to recruit, going where they go is a great way as well to build the right audience. What we did at Ruuster was in 2023, we sponsored every event. We sponsored every event we could get our hands on. And I'll tell you, that was terrible. That was terrible. Multiple times. We went to events and we walked away realizing we by no means should be here. So going to the right events is really, really important. We identified specifically communities that we wanted to be members of, communities that had the right type of clients for us, the folks who have the problems that we solve. We identified those communities and then we went to their events. We doubled down, and they may hold multiple events a year, and we went to those events because we knew they had the right audience. The right event will put you in the room with the right audience. Simple as that. Attracting folks, this is all to do with your marketing message that I talked about before in the mindset of marketing. You need the right marketing message, and you need to be specific. You need to not be everything to everyone. You need to attract through your marketing message the people that you want in your business. So this is a flywheel effect. And that's really tied into the events that we went to. It's kind of how we identified the in-person events that we wanted to go to. So we went in all those events by a small number of communities. It was better for us. It's better for our clients. Everything was better aligned. Everyone got better results. And then, of course, you can buy audiences, right? You can sponsor events. You can run ads. Running ads is a little hard to quality control. You have to qualify your leads through your copy. So that's a really important concept. Is if you have poor copy, you may get a lot of results, but you'll get a lot of folks who are not the right fit. And we have not decided to do that yet, but it's something that I've experienced in the past. It's just another way to audience build. Number 3, message and media. Social. I've mentioned Facebook, and I kind of talk in the context of Facebook, and this is probably true for you as well. But you do need to understand where your ideal client spends their time on socials. And I say client, and you may think of buyers and sellers, homeowners, but as a team leader, that's your realtor, right? So I said client, as a team leader, that's the next realtor you're recruiting. That's the next recruit, right? So you need to identify the right social media platform for them. And for us, we've been really successful on Facebook. Post 3 times a day. Personal post. This has been true for a long time. People don't necessarily connect with brands, right? If I was just posting as Ruuster this whole time, I would probably get half of the results because no one cares about this faceless brand called Ruuster. They care about me. I had a kid 14 months ago. I went to Japan. I have strange diet habits. I read strange books, and people want to know that. Whether or not they want to know that, they enjoy that kind of stuff. So personal post. Client, aka agent success post. This is a huge deal. When you celebrate the successes of your clients, of your agents, make sure it's about them. It's not about Ruuster, right? It's not about your company. It's about the agent. So we love to, try to take photos of the client and post that with their success story. Truthfully, I could do better about that. A lot of times I don't do a good enough job celebrating the client, but you want to celebrate the client, you want to celebrate the agent and their success. Oh, and it just so happened to be that they're an agent on your team, they're a client using Ruuster, right? And then thought leadership. This is important as well. Folks want to know that you know what you're talking about. You need to pick a particular concept that you excel in and just be ahead of the curve in that concept. It can't be everything, right? You can't know everything, but if you dial in exactly what you excel at and then you just continue to be a thought leader in that area of expertise, you'll garner a lot of respect that way. The person that always comes to mind for me is when I think of AI, I think of Suneet. He's always on the latest trend with AI. I actually watched an online conference that was an AI conference that had nothing to do with real estate, and he was a speaker there. So he's just doubling down on AI, and that's his area of expertise. You know, us is database engagement and lead conversion. Email as a form of media, right? This is really simple. You take your thought leadership posts on social media, put it in your email, send. This is making deposits into the community. You're not asking for anything. There's no call to action at the bottom. There's no book a demo or book a call or anything. It's just deposits. Here are my thoughts, and they have value. Enough deposits, and you eventually earn the right to ask for a meeting. Text. Video text, namely. There's no such thing as enough. Video texting was very new to me, and honestly, it's not something that I'm great at this point. I need to continue to improve, but my eyes are really open to I don't know if I want to say shameless, but how committed you can be to this, and you can get results. I saw Tyler Blair do a presentation where he said he sent 9 unresponded video texts. My limiting beliefs were, I send 1 video text and they don't respond to that? You probably hate me. No, that's not how it works. Tyler sent 9 video texts before he got a response, and he got the outcome that he wanted at the end of the day. So video texts can be really, really powerful. They're very personal. Do not send record 1 video and send to everybody. You want to make sure it is actually personally addressing the person that you're texting. Calling, never quit calling. Never quit calling. This is a tale as old as time. This is kind of old faithful, but calling is a form of following up, engaging, following up with the folks who have engaged with your marketing, people who have engaged with your message. Calling as a form of following up has been undefeated, for forever, right? And the number one, and what it requires is effort. You have to put forth energy. Some people don't like that, but the number one Keller Williams team in New Jersey signed up with Ruuster after I called 29 times. 29 times, the client did not pick up my phone call, and we had done a demo. We had spoken. Things seemed good. There were some timing things involved, and once I thought the timing was right, I called him 29 times. He picked up, signed up. So it's worth it. Income of value, of course, we're making good on a commitment. I committed to him that I was going to follow up after a certain period of time, after they were able to make some type of transition in their business, and that's what I was doing, following through on my commitment. Otherwise, another example is following up with folks after we have launched a really exciting new feature that has made an impact in people's business. That's a great way to follow up as well. Same for you when you've made some type of adjustment or change in your business, or you've seen a shift and y'all are accelerating through the shift versus being hindered by it. That's really powerful. But at the end of the day, you need to find your prospect's love language. This was a concept taught to me a long time ago that had totally kind of left my brain until getting back on the marketing coaching with Alec. But once you find your prospect's love language, dig into it. What does that mean? I mentioned Suneet before. He only messages me on Facebook. That's okay. Other clients only call, text, email. Once you find the way they communicate with them in that way. Section 4, funnel. Funnels are like dating. You don't ask someone to marry you on the first date. So you need to move them through the funnel before actually asking them to join the team, sign up with Ruuster, etc. Free downloads, top of the funnel. This is your first date. This is getting permission to contact somebody. The free download, whatever it is that you're kind of leading in thought leadership, that's kind of the inspiration I would use for the free download. You don't need to make it super complicated. Really important. You don't need to make it really in-depth or really thorough. That may actually be intimidating. The fact is, odds are people aren't going to read it. For our free downloads, I send it out and I call people, and a lot of the time, like, I haven't made the time. Okay, when can you make the time, and when can I call you after that? Right, so that's the kind of the scripting there. But don't make it sloppy, right? You don't want to embarrass yourself in the event somebody does read it. The free downloads, really, really valuable. We've made 2. We know some folks have made dozens. Some folks just make 1 and they stick with it. I don't think there's necessarily a right or wrong in that category. Just make sure it's bringing value. Webinars, second step in the funnel. Typically a larger time commitment, right? A free download, I'm scanning a QR code, putting my name, email in, and that's the only thing I've done to really commit to you. But if I'm actually joining a webinar of yours, it's a larger time commitment, half an hour, hour long. It's a stronger opportunity for you to follow up and request an opportunity to meet or book a demo, right, in my case. But remember, you're not the hero of the story. In the webinar, if you hold this webinar of how great we are, you're probably not going to get a lot of attendees, not going to get a lot of engagement. If you held a webinar that was about the 7 steps that we took to double, the 7 steps to double your business, they're the hero of the story. You are going to prove that you did it, and you're going to show them how, but this isn't about you, it's about them. Very rarely should you have a webinar as a hard sales pitch. Events. This is kind of the stage that we're at right now. Actually hosting events of your own. We held our first event in September, and this was really powerful. It's a very strong community building tool, right? The clients who attended were awesome, and I think they loved the event. They got a lot of value out of it. 85% of it, of the folks who attended, were clients already. I expect that to change as we actually continue to grow, and we want to gravitate more towards 50-50. Historically, in the past, I've actually had a lot of experience hosting events, and that 50-50 mark was really great. If you could organize it such that you literally had client, non-client, client, non-client, right? Agent, recruit, in the seating formation, it can be really powerful for you. What we did in the past, I did with another company, was partner with title companies to fill rooms, right? So as a tech company, we didn't have an on-the-ground presence, so to speak. So we partnered with the title company. They filled the room because they had that local presence there, and then we would bring in a speaker to kind of host this mastermind, someone from another market, someone with a lot of credibility, a lot of success, and we would have this open dialogue. It was really great. We would use the notepad, the giant notepad with the markers, and we would actually field questions from the audience. And the irony was, this was totally unscripted. It truly was unscripted. We didn't plant anybody, we didn't plant any questions, but if we gathered 8 topics, 6 of them would be the same thing at every event with 2 outliers. So the speakers were really comfortable because they didn't have to necessarily field totally unknown topics. It was very authentic. People loved it. But you have to keep the room relatively small. You can't invite too many people or else it doesn't invite dialogue. Sponsor, I've talked about this already as another step of the funnel. I've talked about this previously, but as a step of the funnel, sponsoring events can help you kind of skip some of the steps and get you into the right rooms. But it's really important to take the right approach with these events. In the past, we'd show up, sit, have our booth, wave to people as they come, wave to people as they go. You have to have a plan of attack. Alec gave us a pre-event hype checklist. Now we're doing a lot more before the event, kind of building up excitement for it. Have your free download ready. Put a QR code on the screen of your phone so folks can scan it while you're there, and then put it elsewhere. Alec has it on a shirt. We need to put it on a shirt. Have it at your booth. Have it on handouts, things like that. Give that client, that recruit, a potential way to submit their information in a way that feels most comfortable for them. And then at the end of the day, speaking. This is the last piece of the funnel. It's a culmination of everything you've done. Sharing wins, here's the effort, here are the results. It builds credibility, great opportunity to build a list because you can take that free download and put it up on the screen while you're speaking, and folks download it like hotcakes. This weekend will be our first time presenting, but at multiple events that we've sponsored, we have had a free download on the screen, and we get a tremendous amount of engagement. So, if you're hosting events, speaking, make sure you have that free download in a way that many people can grab it. So, ultimately, that's the presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to be shortening that, those 27 minutes, for my 20-minute presentation this weekend. But if you have any questions, DM me. Peace.